And we're live. How are we all doing?
Excellent.
Let's do a little applause. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hello and welcome to the second annual Orthodontic Awards. Last year, if you remember, we launched this exciting tradition. I think it's exciting, live in person at the AAO in Chicago. And over 1,500 orthodontists, team members, and industry professionals voted to celebrate the best in our field. And this year, we are taking the show online. Now, you may be asking, why? Well, because it turns out that we learned that free snacks and open bar don't exactly translate well to a live stream budget.
That's very true, Kyle. But tonight isn't just about missing the hors d'oeuvres, hors d'oeuvres. It's about honoring the orthodontic heroes of 2024. We've got awards for orthodontic sales reps, social media influencers, and even a few products you'll swear you don't even remember voting for.
If you even voted at all. 2024, to say the least, has been an interesting year in orthodontics. From innovative technology to industry drama that could rival an episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, there's been no shortage of excitement.
Which is why we're kicking things off this year with the top 10 things that happened in orthodontics this year. Think of it, if you will, as an end of the year highlight reel, minus, of course, the cheesy music and overly dramatic slow motion shots.
Fantastic. So, number 10 of the top 10 things that happened in orthodontics this year, production was down nationwide as the economy struggled. Fortunately, we orthodontists are creative beings. So, in an effort to increase production with the declining number of new patient exams, the new trend is for orthodontists to place braces not only on the buccal, but also the lingual side of the teeth. And so then we can charge patients twice as much. Do the teeth move any faster? Absolutely not. But is it more fun for the patient and for the doctor? Well, also no. But on the bright side, now patients can say that their smile is getting attention from all angles.
I like that, Kyle. Number 9, Invisalign and the AAO aired out their drama for everybody to see. In a real-life soap opera episode of Aligners of Our Lives, the AAO and Align did not disappoint its viewers this year. Some considered it more like an episode of Jerry Springer, while other colleagues claimed it was more like the Maury Povich show, since we all finally discovered the answer to the question, who's your daddy?
Okay, this is a good joke. One thing, I'm missing the live audience because there would have been lots of laughs for that, I think. But hopefully you're at home, posted up in your pajamas and laughing about that. I personally can't wait to see the rest of the top 10, but we should probably get started with the awards, I think.
Well, hold on a second, Kyle. Hold up just 1 second. Before we begin, as is typical when I speak, I feel the need to disclose something.
Sure, disclose away.
I would like to disclose that I am much funnier than Maz Mashiri. And you could say that's really the biggest career accomplishment to date. So
Fabulous.
on to the award ceremony. And to summarize, during the next hour or so, we'll be handing out a total of 21 awards in a sincere effort to celebrate the one profession that we all love so very much, orthodontics.
Well, I just threw out my arm picking up that Golden Molar. That thing is incredibly heavy. And for those of you who have concerns, who are real sticklers for rules, I get it. The results for each category have been meticulously reviewed at multiple stages by a panel of trusted orthodontists. There were no ties. There was one category that was one vote apart, which is pretty crazy. And we did sincerely make every effort to ensure that tonight's outcomes are both fair and legitimate. So let's get started. To present our first 3 awards, we have the hosts of Orthodontics' newest, and might I add, most muscular podcast, the How Much You Bench podcast. Sorry, that's not right. It's actually the Orthodontic Pearls podcast. That's my bad. Sorry, guys. These 3 are not only some of my best friends in orthodontics, but also 2 of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Please welcome Dr. Chris Teeters, Brian Anderson, and Andy Sarpadar. Let's give a little applause for them.
Thank you, Kyle. We are thrilled to kick off things tonight and present the first 4 awards. Let's start with the award for the best orthodontic practice management software. Now, we all know practice management software can occasionally drive us up the wall, like when it crashes right in front of the middle of a busy day, or when you're paying extra for that exciting new feature you never asked for. But let's be real. Would anyone here trade it for the good old days of paper charts, 3-ring binders, and illegible handwriting? From appointment scheduling and patient tracking to clinical efficiency and financial management, these platforms are the unsung heroes of the modern orthodontic practice. Well, tonight it's time to give them their moment in the spotlight. And the nominees for the best orthodontic practice management software are Cloud9, Dolphin, Focus Ortho, Greyfinch, Ortho2 Edge, OrthoTrack, Tops Ortho, and Wave Ortho. And the winner is Dolphin.
Okay, our next award is for Best Orthodontic Service. Now, let's be honest, this category could have hundreds of nominees because there's no shortage of companies claiming to have the secret sauce to transform your practice. But the 9 nominees tonight aren't just talk, they've truly raised the bar. Each of these companies has developed a software or service that's not only innovative, but has also redefined how orthodontists manage their practices, making our jobs a whole lot smoother and maybe even our lives a little less stressful. And the nominees for Best Orthodontic Service are Mary's List, Black Talon Security, Details, EasyRx, Gauge, OrthoFi/OrthoBank, Retainer Club, Retainers for Life, and Simple Consult. And the winner is, drumroll, Mary's List. Congratulations, Mary.
Next up, we have the award for Best Patient Communication System. And let's be honest, communicating with patients can sometimes feel like a group project where only one person is doing all the work. And spoiler, it's us. But thanks to these nominees, patient communication has gone from accidental smoke signals to seamless texts, emails, and even the occasional emoji. These systems make it easier to remind patients about appointments, follow up on treatment plans, and politely suggest one more time that rubber bands are not optional. They've even saved us from hearing, "Oh, I didn't get the message," because we all know they did. So tonight, let's celebrate the systems that keep the chaos at bay, one perfectly timed text at a time. The nominees for Best Patient Communication System are Braces Academy and Orthodontic Screening, Dental Monitoring, Grin, Lead Sigma, Lighthouse 360, Rhinogram, Solution Reach, Sesame Communications, and Weave. And the winner is Weave.
Right. Now, somehow I've been tapped to present this award again this year. I don't know why Kyle keeps thinking I'm the lab guy, but hey, I'll take it. What would we do without orthodontic labs? Probably spend our evenings battling 3D printer errors, trying to solder metal without setting off a smoke alarm, or hand making retainers that somehow never fit. Thankfully, these 9 orthodontic labs save us from those struggles. Their precision, craftsmanship, and cutting-edge technology ensure our patients get top-notch appliances and let us focus on what we do best. Let's give them the recognition they truly deserve. And the nominees for the best orthodontic lab are AOA Laboratory, Dynaflex, Great Lakes Dental Technologies, Motor City Labworks, NEO, New England Orthodontic Laboratory, ODL Orthodontic Labs, Oral Arts Dental Laboratory, Partners Dental Studio, and Specialty Appliances Orthodontic Laboratory. And the winner is NEO, New England Orthodontic Laboratory. Congratulations, NEO.
Fabulous. Switching this stuff is so great. I just have to give it up. They are the first to do this, and I'm going a little bit off script to say this, but you guys did a fantastic job. Chris, thank you so much.
Thank you, Kyle.
And now you get to enjoy the rest of your night and hopefully head into your New Year's celebrations and so on. I do want to put in a plug for them really quickly to Chris, to Brian, and Andy. They have a new podcast, the Pearls Podcast, Orthodontic Pearls Podcast. I was a guest on it. I think my episode is coming out soon, unless it's already come out.
I think we're cutting that one, actually.
You're cutting that one. Okay, well, I'm
Wasn't the
glad that
best.
I invited you on this show, so that was a mistake, clearly. So, but no, fantastic job, gentlemen. I appreciate you very much. Merry Christmas. Oh, your meeting. When is your meeting? Go ahead and plug that since you're here. And since I'm trying to get to my spot in the Google Doc, go ahead.
Yeah, the Mother of Pearls Conference kicks off October 9th through 11th at the Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida. We rented out the entire thing. We're going to have a party under a rocket. It's going to be amazing.
That's amazing. I hope there will be a moon bounce. And if there's not, I'm not coming. So get that figured out. Okay. All right. We will see you guys when we see you. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Thanks.
Let me get Mr. Jonathan up on here. Let's see. There he is. That was not so bad for our first set of segments. This is not easy to do.
Listen, we're still live. We're still streaming. And how bad can that be? And I've got a full glass of wine. So all is right with the world.
How bad can it be? What wine are you drinking? What is this?
Tonight, my Monday night wine is Silver Oak because it's a Monday type wine. But anything to grease the wheels and have a fantastic live performance for you, Kyle, as I always try to do.
Yeah, why not? Why not? I love that Monday night wine for you is Silver Oak. Okay. For most people, it comes in a box. But again, thank you to Chris, Brian, and Andy, and congratulations, truly, to Dolphin, Mary's List, Weave, and NeoLab. For what it's worth, Dolphin and Mary's List won last year, but Weave and NeoLab, those are new wins for them in their respective categories, so congratulations. We have so many great companies, but those are the ones that won based on the votes. If you have a relationship with these companies, I would love it if you'd reach out to them and congratulate them. This is a season of gratitude, and I think it's not a bad idea to reach out to them and thank them for all the work that they do in our industry. Okay. I also want to thank our platinum sponsor, which is Neon Canvas. Surprise, surprise. It's a company I helped start, but they make this possible. I even have Alan in the corner of this room on December 30th working. He probably wishes he could be anywhere else, but nope, he's here. Our gold sponsors, Mary's List and Allure Ortho, they have been awesome, and I can't say enough things to thank them for all they do for our profession. For me, we could not do this without you. All right, so let's get back into the top 10 things that happened in orthodontics this year. Jonathan, why don't you kick us off with number 8?
Excellent, Kyle. Thank you. Well, this year, number 8, let's think about this. People would not stop talking about airway orthodontics. My goodness. Airway orthodontics, when you think about it, it's really the pineapple on pizza of our profession. Some people love it. Others start internet fights over it. And honestly, Kyle, I am just truly exhausted about all these woke conversations. Woke meaning, will orthodontists keep expanding? That's what woke really stands for. And can we all stop flexing about doing MARPIes on 80-year-olds to help improve their quality of life? I mean, my goodness, does that have a lifetime guarantee?
I just have to be honest, in keeping with it, it's a live thing. I just did a spit take. I've read these jokes. This is a great joke, but for some reason, I just spit water out onto my laptop. And so if this like electrocutes and stops the stream, I'm sorry, but you told the joke so well. I loved it.
Kyle, it's not water, it's donut juice. Let's get it straight. It's donut juice.
It is donut juice. Bringing the donut juice mug back from many, many years ago. Okay, we've lost our entire audience. All right, number 7 of the top 10 things that happened in orthodontics this year. So many new products came out this year. So many. There were just new innovation after new innovation after new innovation. So much so that we even added a new award for best new product this year. One of the biggest conversations in 2024, though, has been around the Invisalign palatal expander. And it is one of our new product nominees tonight, and deservedly so. You might think that IPE stands for Invisalign Palatal Expander, but no, the real acronym, IPE, stands for Insulting Practitioners Everywhere. But hey, at least it helps raise awareness, right?
Oh, Kyle. Oh, Kyle. That was a good one. I like that. So, number 6, custom orthodontic appliances have become a very huge focus for many orthodontists. And honestly, Kyle, I simply do not see what all the friction is about with these custom braces. I mean, let's face it, stock braces are as unique as a teenager with a second and third ear piercing. I mean, who really wouldn't want to pay more for bracket breaking technology? I'm sorry, I meant to say groundbreaking technology.
Ouch. No one is safe tonight, huh, Jonathan?
Certainly not, Kyle. No.
No. All right, so let's move back to the awards. Let's bring in our next 3 guests, 3 lovely ladies. And there they are. How are we doing, everyone?
Great.
Hi, guys.
Okay, awesome. All right, so moving back to the awards, it's time to recognize the people and groups that keep orthodontics fun, connected, and innovative. We're talking, of course, about the categories of Best Orthodontic Meeting, Best Orthodontic Facebook Group, Best CE Course, and the Best Orthodontic Podcast.
And honestly, Kyle, who better to present these awards than 3 of the most badass women in orthodontics? Dr. Farah Carr, known as the Ortho Queen of Instagram, she's board certified orthodontist and one of the Southeast's top Invisalign providers, blending art and innovation in every smile that she crafts. Honestly, she's the E.F. Hutton of orthodontics. When she talks, people listen.
And we also have Dr. Jackie Sheik, who is a trailblazing ABO certified orthodontist by day, and by night, she's the bass player and singer for the band Relapse. And lastly, we have Dr. India Collier, who is a board certified orthodontist and AAO trustee at large, who's shaping the future of the profession with leadership and heart.
These 3 doctors are redefining what it means to be leaders in orthodontics. Please welcome to the stage Dr. Farah Carr, Jackie Sheik, and India Collier.
Thank you, guys. So glad to be here. So if there's one thing I love as much as being an orthodontist, it's a good meeting. Or let's be honest, any meeting. Orthodontic meetings aren't just about lectures and CE credits. They're where we exchange ideas, we build connections, and maybe even pick up a few dance moves after hours. And for me, they're extra special because I occasionally get to take the stage and slap the bass a little bit. So orthodontic meetings bring the best of our profession together, and this year's nominees for Best Orthodontic Meeting represent everything that makes these events so incredible. So the nominees for Best Annual Orthodontic Meeting are the AAO Annual Session, AAO Winter Conference, the Mother of Pearls Conference, Orthopreneurs Summit, and the Women in Orthodontic Annual Conference. And the winner is the AAO Annual Session.
That's awesome. All right, next we have Facebook groups. So we all know they're like the coffee break room of orthodontics. It's a place where we can all share ideas, ask questions, and sometimes even laugh about the challenges we all are facing. These groups have become an essential part of how we learn and how we grow and really just stay connected as a community, whether it's a brilliant clinical tip or just, knowing someone else that had the same, experience that you had that week. Facebook groups remind us that we're never alone in this crazy profession. And the nominees for the Best Orthodontic Facebook group are AAO Tech Talk, Controversies, Concepts, and Items of Interest in Orthodontics, Orthopreneurs, Orthodontic Pearls, The Digital Orthodontist, Women in Orthodontics, Ortho Cosmos Private Forum, Orthodontics Mastery Group. And the winner is, in the closest matchup of the night by a margin of 1 vote, Women in Orthodontics.
Congratulations. So, CE courses are like the boutique version of orthodontic meetings, a little bit smaller, more intimate, and laser focused. They're where you really get to take a deep dive into topics, ask the big questions, and learn directly from some of the brightest minds in our fields. These courses don't just teach techniques, they shape the way that private practices really operate all over the world. Tonight's nominees for Best CE course represent the kind of generosity and expertise that really keep orthodontics moving forward. So the nominees for Best CE course are Copacetic CE, Dr. Jason Cope; Dunn Education, Drs. Courtney and Matt Dunn; Fishbein Fundamentals; Frost Smile Academy, Dr. Stuart Frost; Innovative Orthodontic Solution, Dr. Dan Bills; JSOP, Just Short of Perfect, Dr. Ron Ronconi; Ortho Masterclass, Dr. Sean Holliday; Orthodontic Board Bootcamp, Dr. Dan Chartrand and Dr. Greg Gittleman; Plastic Principles, Dr. Heather Hopkins of Tipping Point Orthodontic Solutions; TAD Challenge, Dr. Sebastian Baumgartel; Team Transformation Experience, Dino Watt; and the Aligner Intensive Fellowship, Drs. Jonathan Nikozizis and Maz Moshiri. And the winner is the Aligner Intensive Fellowship. Congratulations.
All right. And the final award of our segment is the Best Orthodontic Podcast. So we all know podcasts have kind of become the storytelling stage of orthodontics. Whether it's audio or video, these shows give us front row seats to fascinating interviews, big ideas, and deep dives into the topics that shape our profession. Orthodontic podcasts aren't just about information, they're about connection. They bring together the voices of well-known orthodontists, industry leaders, and innovators to spark conversations, share insights, and tackle the challenges we all face. And the nominees for Best Orthodontic Podcast are The Digital Orthodontist Live, Dr. Kyle Fagala; The Doc Podcast, Dr. Mike DeLuke; The Golden Age of Orthodontics with Dr. Leon Klempner and Amy Epstein; The Grow Ortho Podcast by Hip Creative; The Hey Docs Podcast with Jill Allen; The Illuminate Orthodontic Podcast with Dr. Chris Setta; The Neon Buzz with Neon Canvas; Orthodontics in Summary with Dr. Farouk Ahmed; The Orthopreneurs Podcast with Dr. Glenn Krieger; and the Orthodontic Pearls Podcast with Drs. Teeters, Sarpadar, and Anderson. And the winner is TDO Live with Dr. Kyle Fagala.
Well, isn't that convenient? Look, I know what it seems like, and I got to get Jonathan on here because he's guilty too. We just won awards, and we're giving the awards out. So I don't know.
Listen, I would just like to thank all the people on Controversy's Facebook group that voted for me, because I know they're big supporters of everything
They're really
that we do.
stuffing the ballot box for you. There's no doubt about that. You ladies did exceptionally well. Badass indeed. And thank you so much for being on here. And we will see you when we see you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Weren't they amazing? Okay.
They were. It really was. And so thank you to Jackie, India, and Farah, and congratulations to you, Kyle, and the Digital Orthodontist Live, Women in Orthodontics, and of course the AAO annual session. And I'd be remiss to not, say once again how thrilled I am, and on behalf of my partner in crime, Dr. Maz Moshiri, for us, the Aligner Intensive Fellowship, to win once again. I'd like to give a shout out to our partner in continuing education credits, that being Innovator Ortho. And if you are ever thinking about doing your own course, contact me or Maz, and happy to give out Innovator Ortho, which has really helped shape the Aligner Intensive Fellowship to what you all have known and loved. But there is something I think you need to know more about the Aligner Intensive Fellowship. Next slide, please. Kyle, we just redid the Aligner Intensive Fellowship 2.0 last year.
So I heard.
And by way of inspiration, I like to watch a lot of documentaries on TV.
Same.
And Stanley Tucci, I don't know if you've ever watched,
Yeah,
his
it's great.
Searching for Italy on CNN. It's
I have
really wonderful. And it's won many awards.
cinematically
from what I
beautiful. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you're hungry, and all you want to do is eat and drink wine while you watch it,
Yeah.
much like when I do ClinChecks. But nonetheless, I would say that with this as my inspiration, when we crafted 2.0, I looked at Stanley Tucci's Searching for Italy. And next slide, please, to documenting all of our cases for AIF 2.0. And as a Nicosia original satire, 2.0, the inspiration is really Maz Mashiri Searching for ClinCheck. And it's really award winning, obviously, for 2 years in a row now, which is incredible. And AIF 2.0 is based on tried and tested Nicosia based principles, outstanding peer-to-peer learning, which you have all known to grow and love. And honestly, 2.0 is based on Moshiri Senior treated cases. So a little something you didn't know, that Maz presents his father's cases, his father's treated cases, as if they are his own. I mean,
Yeah,
and
man.
that's why they look so good. And
Yeah.
another reason why they look so good is Maz has won awards for his outstanding editing of his case records. And so
Yeah.
if you need help with your presentations to make your cases better look than they really finished, please contact Maz and he can share his pearls of wisdom in that award-winning endeavor. So thank you for indulging me, Kyle, and thank you for the honor again of winning the best CE course of this year.
Happy to do it. You won it by your own merit. You did generate a lot of votes. And I, like Moz, have also been presenting my dad's orthodontic cases. The only problem is he's not an orthodontist. He's an agronomist. So that was probably where I went wrong. So not all these jokes are written, people. All right. So let's talk about the next set of awards.
They're still funny, man. They're still funny. It's all good.
They're good. Yeah, we can ad lib. We're not so bad at it. Okay, so what are we doing? We've got quite a few people watching. This is great. We're going to bring on our next group of 3 presenters, and they're going to
Kyle,
present.
are we in the teens? Are we in the teens of people who are watching?
Oh, we're in the teens. We're at like 60 or 70 or something like that. Just know that the
Okay, great.
later audience will be much bigger. Monday night's not necessarily the best night for primetime television, but that's Thursday night, if you recall, from the days of Seinfeld. All right, so let's do this thing. We've got coming up best marketing, best social media personality, best office design, that's a new one, and best residency program. Well, let's bring on our people before I read the rest of all that and make sure they can come on. Yes. Who goes with Michelle? Who's the other one here? Mary, of course. Of course it's Mary. Yes. Michelle, and Mary. Let me get back to the script. What do these categories have in common? Honestly, not much. But that's where our presenters come in. I mean, better tackle this grab bag of excellence than 3 people who are pros at helping orthodontics figure everything out. First, we have Dino Watt, known as the relationship expert, not only known as but is the relationship expert. Dino is a business and leadership mentor who has been transforming practices, including my own, with his dynamic coaching and an emphasis on strong team cultures.
And then there's Michelle Shimon with over 30 years in orthodontics experience. She's honestly known as an international lecturer and consultant specializing in practice management, marketing, and treatment coordination, truly dedicated to optimizing efficiency and growth for your orthodontic practices. And of course, Mary Sawtelle, founder of Mary's List, one of tonight's gold sponsors, and the person who helps every orthodontist save money on everything from brackets to, I don't know, office coffee pods, whatever it might be. This team truly knows how to solve problems across the board. So let's give it up for Dino, Michelle, and Mary. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Orthodontic marketing and website design are the unsung heroes of a thriving practice. Trust me, I've seen it firsthand. I recently partnered with Neon Canvas for my own rebranding, and as you've all seen, the results were incredible. The companies nominated tonight are masters of their craft, helping orthodontists shine through website design, SEO, social media, content creation, email marketing, and online advertising. Together, they're not just building websites, they're building trust and making it clear to the world orthodontists are the experts in creating confident, healthy smiles. And the nominees for Best Orthodontic Marketing and Website Design are Neon Canvas, Hip Creative, Kaleidoscope, OrthoCinetics, People in Practice, Rooster Grin, Sesame Communications, and Vision Trust Communications. And the winner is Neon Canvas.
Thanks, Michelle, and congratulations to all the winners tonight. You know, social media is where creativity and orthodontics collide. It's not just about posts and likes. It's a stage for orthodontists to teach, entertain, and connect. From hilarious skits to trending dances, and yes, I've got a soft spot for most of those, to behind-the-scene looks at office culture. These social media personalities showcase orthodontics in ways that educate patients and inspire the world. Tonight, we celebrate those who truly know how to put on a show. And the nominees for Best Social Media Personality are Dr. Bar Nguyen, Dr. Ben Winters, Dr. Brittany Zito, Dr. Catherine Ding, Dr. Enrique Cruz, and Dr. Grant Collins. And the winner is, don't forget the eggs, Shannon. I'm sorry, guys. She does stuff like that. Dr. Grant Collins, also known as the braces guy.
Thank you, Dino. So tonight we will be talking about who won the award for the best orthodontic office. As we all know, designing an orthodontic office is about more than functionality. It's an opportunity to create a space that reflects personality, sparks imagination, and makes every visit memorable. This year, our nominees have truly outdone themselves. One office boldly goes where no practice has gone before, with the Star Trek theme complete with authentic, screen-use props from the series and movies, providing patients with the truly out-of-this-world experience. Another transports patients back in time with the speakeasy-inspired design featuring a sliding bookshelf door that reveals the clinic, a hidden gem worthy of the Prohibition era. And some designs are so stunning, they'd make an HGTV producer blush, blending style and comfort to create the perfect patient experience. These offices showcase the creativity and innovation that define our profession. Let's take a look at the nominees for the Best Orthodontic Office Design. Amanda Gallagher, Orthodontics, Dr. Amanda Gallagher. Aurora Borealis Orthodontics, Dr. David Hirsch. Blue Ridge Orthodontics, Dr. Luke Roberts. Exciser Orthodontics, Dr. Ming Nguyen. Magic Fox Orthodontics, Dr. Jeremy Chow. And Manford Orthodontics, Dr. Lauren Manford. And the winner is, get out the envelope here. This is the exciting part. Blue Ridge Orthodontics, Dr. Luke Roberts. Congratulations.
Orthodontic residency programs are the backbone of our profession, shaping the brilliant minds that keep pushing us forward. This year, nominations were taken from the Digital Orthodontic Facebook group, and 18 incredible schools qualified. So let's be honest, we all know the real best residency is the one that you went to, right? Now, while none of us presenting this award, myself, Dino, or Mary, actually went to an orthodontic residency, we're definitely thankful they exist. So tonight, we honor the programs that train the best and the brightest in orthodontics. And the nominees for Best Orthodontic Residency are Baylor, Case Western Reserve, LSU, Louisville, Marquette, Michigan, Oklahoma, Rutgers, St. Louis University.
You know, listing off 18 schools can feel a little monotonous. So let me pick up there, Michelle.
Thanks, Dino.
Temple, University of Minnesota, University of North Carolina, University of Tennessee, University of Washington, UCSF, UT Health San Antonio, Virginia Commonwealth University, and West Virginia University. And the winner is, seriously, don't forget the eggs. Shannon, I got it. Okay, I hear you. Baylor University.
Okay, that was fantastic. I'm sorry that you had to read 18 schools, but there were so many nominated. That was like the most popular post of all time, basically. So not of all time, but for me at least. Now there was one thing, you know, as I'm doing this show, and I'll be honest, for those on this show, you know, I wrote pretty much this entire script today.
Did you or did a little chat GTP help you out?
Well, a little bit of chat GPT. Also, guys, it is win. It's not Naguin or we got to get that straight. It's win.
Oh,
I know.
sorry.
It happened twice. I felt real bad about it, but since you corrected me on the AI, I felt that it was okay to correct you on win. And it's all right. I'm sure that they've heard it before. My last name is Fagala, so I've heard everything. But as
you know,
as I was putting this together, I had a couple people ask, like, hey, can we do this? Can we do, you know, whatever? And one of those was Mary. Mary asked if we could take a few moments to honor someone who passed away this year, sadly. And she also suggested that maybe in future Orthodontic Awards broadcasts, we could do a full, proper in memoriam segment. And I would love to do that. I would hate to leave anyone out, but for tonight, we're going to honor two people, and one of those is one that Mary requested, and I have a photo to put up, and so we're going to do that real quick. There we go, and then Mary, go ahead.
I'm going to share with everybody some words from Paul Ganji, who is one of the co-founders of Reliance, a dear friend of mine back from the 80s, my original A Company days when I was a trainer for A Company. I was very privileged to spend a lot of my years working alongside the Ganges. And so Sharon just wrote a few things that he wanted me to share. Sharon Jean Ganji, my beloved, wife and partner, she was a major reason and influence that Reliance has been so successful. From the very beginning, her ideas influenced packaging, advertising, and marketing. But what many people didn't know is that she virtually ran the headquarters of Reliance Orthodontics since the inception. She will be missed, especially by me, but by everybody in the profession. Thank you, Paul.
All right, and thank you, Mary, for doing that. We really appreciate that. And thank all four of you for showing up and doing this thing and for being great consultants and people who help practices thrive every day. We really do appreciate it. Okay, and now I will unceremoniously remove you from the broadcast, which is a tough segue to make. It's just never easy. I don't know how to do it. Dino removed himself as if to say, you can't remove me, I'll remove myself. So there we go. Great job, Mary. Let me bring Mr. Jonathan back on. There he is.
Cheers.
How you doing over there? Yeah, cheers.
So again, I'm having such a great time. You have no idea.
It is fun.
This
is fun. Why did we decide to do this? That's a question I keep asking myself. But I think we're doing a hell of a job.
I didn't decide. You keep coming back and asking me, and it's hard to say no.
That is true. Yep. But I keep ensuring that you win awards. So, you know, I'm just kidding. I didn't do anything to do with that. You handily win those, and we all know it's because of Maz and his shiny head, his dome. All right. So I want to thank again Michelle, Dino, and Mary for presenting. Thank you to Mary for suggesting a sweet tribute to Sharon Ganji. And congratulations are in order for Baylor, who did win this event. They got the vote out. They had more votes than anyone, I think by about 20 votes. A lot of you performed well, but Baylor won. I'm sure being in Texas, they will never stop talking about it. So there's that, but congratulations. And I just jest a little. Congratulations to Blue Ridge Orthodontics, a truly beautiful building. Dr. Grant Collins, did we give away an award to Dr. Grant Collins? Did we do that? We did.
Yes, we
I
did.
like they totally
Yeah.
spaced on that. Yeah. Well, of course he won.
You were drinking your donut juice.
I was drinking my donut juice. And then to Neon Canvas, who won in the marketing category. So we still have 5 more from our top 10 things that happened in orthodontics this year, and we need to count those down. So Jonathan, why don't you tell us what number 5 is?
Gladly, Kyle, gladly. So 2024, honestly, it's a year of politics, right? I mean, you
no
had to
doubt.
be living under a rock to not, feel the politic discussion going on. And politics was on everybody's mind, including Facebook feeds. And so, look, I know that most of us are really just simply tired of politics. Thankfully, the election is over, and we don't agree on much, and we likely never will, Kyle. But
Yeah.
as far as orthodontics is concerned, can't we simply all agree that MAGA should stand for Make America Grin Again?
Oh, that's good. I like that. I've got the red hats printing as we speak. 4 redheads. Yeah.
4 ahead. Well, very appropriate for you for sure. But speaking of printing, Kyle, I mean, my goodness, it's almost 2025, and who the heck is still 3D printing models for in-house aligners anymore? I mean, that was so 2021. And I mean, we don't like bagging our own groceries, Kyle. Why the heck would you want to bag your own aligners for your own patients? Makes no sense to me.
Yeah, nobody knows. But for number 4 on our list, I actually allowed Jonathan to write this joke for me, and I have not read it yet, actually. And so I hope it's a good one, and I hope it's not at all offensive. So number 4, orthodontists have started to experience what we call orthodontic conference fatigue, or OCF. But what's the deal with all these in-person meetings? It seems that every group, every region, and every company has their own meeting these days. I mean, it almost makes you miss the COVID era lockdowns where we didn't have to interact with so many people. I know I miss those days. The people I'm talking about at these meetings, they're the worst. And it seems that they have the same exact washed up band who plays at every one of these meetings. Perhaps they're the reason why attendance is down at orthodontic conferences these days. Okay, very funny. All right, number 3. Do number 3.
Sorry, buddy. So number 3, top 10 2024 things that occurred in orthodontics this year. The clear aligner wars have officially heated up. With more clear aligner companies than ever before, aligner wars are really heating up. They're suing each other. They're stealing each other's ideas. Heck, they're even stealing each other's KOLs, right? And if it wasn't enough drama, rumor has it they've even added microplastics to the mix. Because what's a good old-fashioned legal battle, Kyle, without a side of environmental health, environmental controversy, and personal health issues controversies? Kyle, as an appreciation of co-hosting yet again, I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for allowing me for the 2nd year in a row to co-host this amazing awards ceremony. And as a true sign of my appreciation, next time I'm with you at a meeting, I want to treat you like an aligner and take you out for dinner and drinks.
Thanks, John. That's great. And look, we've got 2 more to count down. So I know you're on the edge of your seats. Let's head into our next awards segment now. So let's see.
Excellent. So to present the next 4 awards, we brought together 3 of the brightest stars in orthodontics. 2 of them even survived residency together. Leading the way is the host of the Illuminate Orthodontic podcast, my good friend from New Jersey, Dr. Chris Setta, who's always shining a light on the stories that matter the most in our profession. Next, the nominee tonight for Best CE course and the man behind the most forward-thinking orthodontic practices in all of our country, Dr. Ben Fishbein.
And finally, one of the most motivational leaders in orthodontics, known for inspiring teams and inspiring practices everywhere, Dr. Nicole Wax.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. I want to congratulate you both on your awards. I'm glad your course and your podcast went over better than your jokes. Anyway, innovation is at the heart of orthodontics. It's what drives us forward, keeps us improving, and helps us deliver better care to our patients. On the Illuminate Orthodontic podcast, I've had the privilege of featuring some of the brightest minds and boldest inventors in our field, people who aren't afraid to think outside the box to solve the challenges we face every day. The nominees for Best New Product represent that same spirit of innovation. These products, all debuting since the last Orthodontic Awards, are already transforming practices and making an impact. Let's take a look at the game changers leading the way. The nominees for Best New Orthodontic Product are 3M Clarity Precision Grip Attachments from Solventum, Angel Aligner Angel Button, Designer Ties Ligature Ties by Timothy Weigel and GMH Ortho, the Invisalign Palatal Expander, that's IPE, by Align Technology, OrthoPulse 2.0, and the Dental Pain Eraser from Synapse. And the winner is, envelope here. All right, folks, let's see. The Angel Aligner Angel Button. All right. And now over to my good friend, Dr. Ben Fishman.
Thanks, Chris. It's an honor to present along Dr. Chris Setta and Dr. Nicole Wax, two of the most influential orthodontists that I know and two of the greatest orthodontists that I know. Chris, I've heard great things about the angel buttons that you presented, but Setta, we still love your Setta Precision buttons from Dynaflex. We still love your buttons. On to orthodontic reps. Orthodontic reps are a vital part of our profession. They're the ones who ensure we have the materials and support we need, often going the extra mile, sometimes literally, to keep our practices running smoothly. Their contributions might not always be front and center, but their impact is felt every day. This year, the nominees for Best Orthodontic Rep are the 6 who stood out the most in the Digital Orthodontic Facebook group. Let's take a moment to recognize their hard work and the important role they play in our success. They are Chris Humphreys, Solventum, Dana Leonard, Ormco, RJ Raposa, KL Owen, Scott O'Neill, OC Orthodontics, Josh Samagli, Allure Orthodontics, and Patrick Toll, Lightforce Orthodontics. And the winner is RJ Raposa from KL Owen. Congratulations, RJ. On to you, Nicole.
All right, thank you, Ben. Orthodontic consultants bring something truly unique to our profession, a front row seat to how practices operate all over the country. That insight allows them to identify what works, what doesn't, and how to help practices reach their full potential. And let's be honest, sometimes that means navigating a delicate balance between doctors and the team, and somehow still making everyone love them by the end of the day. Whether it's refining workflows, embracing new technology, cutting overhead, or improving patient satisfaction, consultants aren't just experts, they're miracle workers. Tonight, we celebrate their incredible contributions to our profession. The nominees for Best Orthodontic Consultant are Amanda Floyd Consulting, Benson Koppel Patterson and Associates, Kathy Jugovic Consulting, Dina Watt, Embrace Consulting, Angie Menendez, Hummingbird Associates, Jill Allen and Associates, Shimon Consulting, and Straight Consulting, Tracy Martin. And the winner is the beautiful Michelle Shimon of Shimon Consulting. Congratulations.
You guys can go back now.
Actually, no, Chris, you're presenting one more award, it turns out. So
am I? Okay.
While you were busy making fun of our jokes, you forgot to present your next award.
Oh, I didn't even know.
How's that working out for you? Would you like for me to present it, Chris?
No, I can help you unless you want to present it.
No, I want you to present it. I'm so glad it worked out this way, and I can see Jonathan backstage laughing about it.
Well, this is what happens when you get a script at 4:30.
Oh, well, that is true. Although I did finish it like literally today. Before I continue with this, first off, Chris is one of my best friends, so this is playful banter. What was the
Yes.
police siren in the background? What was that?
I was getting arrested, maybe.
Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, go ahead, Chris. You got this.
We got it. Public speaking is one of the most common fears out there. Just ask me. Right up there with spiders and running out of coffee. But orthodontic speakers not only face those fears, they excel at it. This new category, Best Orthodontic Speaker, honors those who don't just survive the stage, but thrive on it, educating, inspiring, and occasionally imagining the audience in their underwear. Let's meet the nominees for Best Orthodontic Speaker. All right. First up, Amanda Floyd, Dr. Anil Adikula, Chris Benson, Dr. Courtney Dunn, Dr. Dan Bills, Dr. David Sarver, Dino Watt, Dr. Glenn Krieger, Dr. Grant Collins, also known as Gran Collins, Dr. Maz Moshiri, Dr. Neil Kravitz, Dr. Nicole Wax, Nicole, and Dr. Stuart Frost. And the winner is Dr. Neil Kravitz. Congratulations, Neil. Back to you, Jonathan and Kyle.
I feel like before you leave, we have to chat a little bit because it's just fun. It becomes sort of like a podcast.
Yes, it has.
I did notice a couple of typos. He called us out on Gran Collins, and I'm looking at you, Alan, because he put these slides in. So if you're a big typo Nazi like I am, my mom was an English teacher. There's been some there. So what? All right, we got 21 awards. It's just hard to get it all right. What can you do about it? Jonathan, would you like to defend yourself against Chris Setta and what he said about the jokes that you largely wrote tonight? I think it would be only appropriate.
Listen, I had the pleasure of having drinks with Dr. Chris Setta in Princeton, New Jersey last weekend when he was back up in the Garden State. And, out of deference for our friendship, I will take the higher road and let him off easy because I think at the end of the day, he's just jealous that he's no longer living in the Garden State of New Jersey.
That might be it.
Yes. No longer living in New Jersey. That'll get the best of us, won't it?
All of us, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, thank you again for having me. Next year, I hope I'm nominated for Least Muscular Podcast. That's what I'm going for, actually.
Hey, you and I are in the running, my friend. So Ben, Nicole, thank you both so much. You guys it's amazing to see how polished and excellent you guys are on these things, especially when you did, in fact, receive the script like minutes ago. And Chris, an award he didn't know he was presenting. He read it like a pro. So kudos to all three of you. I hope to see you very soon in the new year. Good night.
Congratulations to all the winners.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to shift into something very special. Very special. And I'm going to bring on my good friend Chris Benson while I get into this, because then it seems less awkward than me just speaking by myself here. But we're going to move into the Living Legend Award, which I let the cat out of the bag and who was receiving this. We had two really impressive nominees, and one came out ahead in the voting, both deserving, but I wanted to put it up to vote. Last year, I just picked the winner. But okay, so the Living Legend Award is given to an orthodontist with exceptional vision, dedication, and commitment to our profession. They are recognized for outstanding achievements in their professional lives, and they're also recognized for personal integrity, stature, and service. At least that's how I see it, and that's who I try to put up for nominations. Last year, we were so fortunate to have the winner of the very first Living Legend Award with us in person, and that was Dr. Larry Andrews. Dr. Andrews is a rare person whose work has influenced virtually every orthodontist practicing today. It was an honor to spend one-on-one time with the man. His son was excellent, and some of his family showed up at the award ceremony. It was great. Sadly, as I'm sure you may know, Dr. Andrews passed away this year, but his memory and his influence will live on with us for years to come. So I have some photos that I just feel the need to put up there. There's Dr. Andrews. So really great man. And it was an honor, again, to be able to give him an award. Of course, he received many, but it was great to see him in that sense. So What I will do now is, for this year's Living Legend Award, we have an equally deserving recipient. He's an exceptional individual. He's an all-around remarkable human being. Not only is he a renowned orthodontist, but I don't know if you know this, he also played basketball at Auburn. He was a 3-time pole vault champion in the state of Alabama. And I'm referring to the one and only Dr. David Sarver. Before we give him his award officially, I've asked Chris Benson, who's a longtime friend of Dr. Sarver, to say a few words about him. Chris needs no introduction, but he's also a longtime friend of mine and of the show. He is my ortho dad, as it were. So Chris Benson, I'm going to let him come on and say a few words right now.
Thanks, Kyle, and great job so far to everybody. It is my great honor to present Dr. David Sarver, the Living Legend Award tonight. He wasn't real sure what it was, and so as I've described it to him, it's kind of like a People's Choice Award. It's your peers recognizing you, and in this case, the peers that are recognizing him are much, much younger than him. And I recognize it's perhaps peculiar for a non-clinician to present an award to someone being recognized primarily for his clinical contributions to the specialty, of which there are many. And if you don't know, just to rattle off a few, he's the recipient of the Salzman Award, the Mershon Award, the Edward Angle Award, the Eugene and Pauline Blair AOF Distinguished Service Award. He's the upcoming recipient of the Ketchum Award. Many of those came with lectures at the AAO. He's received numerous other honors and service awards for other things and activities he's been involved in. He's the author of several books, his most recent being Dental Facial Aesthetics from Macro to Micro, dozens of articles, book chapters, and courses. But tonight I wanted to share a few thoughts around what I believe David is most proud of, things that I've learned from a cadence of conversations with him beginning 6 or 7 years ago that take place now today several times a week. David and my relationship started from discussing business transitions, not a really exciting topic, but that transcended into a relationship where he became my orthodontist. I became his patient. He became my mentor on how to navigate the decade of my 60s, both professionally and as a husband and father. He's talked to me about his father, about Bill Prophet's profound influence on his career, about his views on research, education, and teaching. He and I together have covered politics ranging, subjects ranging from politics, religion, raising adult children, caring for aging parents, every topic under the sun regarding the future of the specialty. And to put it mildly, we spent a lot of time together on the phone at his home where he's hosted me. I've been in his office and we've been on the road together. And so tonight I just want to share a few things maybe you don't know. Kyle's already told you that David was quite an athlete. He was on the Auburn basketball team and also was a pole vaulter. When he played basketball at Auburn, he learned valuable lessons around team chemistry, commitment, sacrifice, preparedness, diligence, and what it takes to be a competitor and a winner. And he's still an avid Auburn fan. Along with what he learned from playing on the Auburn basketball team, the influence of his father and Dr. Bill Prophet are really foundational and fundamental to what I consider his greatest living legendary trait, and that is of generosity. The idea of giving with no expectation of return, but giving because it's just the right thing to do. He's done that over and over in his career. And so it'll be no surprise to me that one of the hallmarks of his legacy will be generosity. And I'd like to say a few words about how he's done that to his staff, his community, and the specialty. David's really proud when you talk to him about the longevity of his staff members, some being with him since day one, some being with him for 30 years, 20 years, but long longevity on his team. He learned really from a constant cadence of working with a consultant, which he recommends, how to lead, train, and motivate and serve others. He allowed his team to evaluate him, which shows great vulnerability. And he not only listened to them but constantly expressed to them what his vision of excellent patient care looked like. Surprisingly, I think for this award, David is not married to any certain bracket company or aligner therapy company. he remained through his career agnostic on that matter. And if you look at his most recent book, Dental Aesthetics, which he gave me a signed copy of, and which I really have little understanding of, when I went through it, I said, David, there's no pictures of people with braces or aligners in this book. But he concentrated really instead on understanding how the face ages and what the changes meant to his patients. He listens to his patients' goals, and that's how he treated. And so he gets great results with any treatment modality. He taught his team to take great records, and he took them longitudinally. He's amassed a rare and immense library of content of patients with records from 10, 20, and 30 years post-treatment. He's a lifelong and evolving learner, and his staff did some heavy lifting of trying new techniques and documenting them with pictures and records. Their gift back to him is staying long-term. And I think that they learned to care about the patient as much as David did. And that developed a chemistry and a culture of excellence in his practice that is rarely seen and probably unmatched. And their longevity is something I think every orthodontist can learn from. Where generosity is concerned to his community, he shared with me that perhaps his most cherished recognition in his career is receiving the Distinguished Citizens Award from the community of Vestavia Hills in Birmingham, Alabama, where he's lived and worked his entire professional life. And finally, if you hang around David very long, you understand that where David is, Valerie, his sweetheart since his college days, is not far away. She's often accompanying him at meetings, and as many describe them, they're attached at the hip. She is his North Star, his counselor, his financial planner, his friend, and his foundation. And a personal anecdote, several years ago, Valerie was in the middle of a particularly scary and serious health matter. I was talking to David on the phone one day about how she was doing, and there was a long silent period that seemed to go on for a long time. And finally, in a very broken and halting voice, he said, Chris, I'm sorry. I just can't picture my life without her. Theirs is a legendary love story. So what makes a man a living legend? I think the accolades are certainly part of it, as Kyle suggested and his career suggests, and David has them in spades. But David's generosity and loving commitment to Valerie, I think, are the things that set him apart. So now, you know a little bit more about David. And to the voters who voted for him, I say well chosen. And to my good friend David, I say congratulations.
All right, I'll kind of come in. That was beautiful. Thank you. It was very emotional. I'm tearing up. I do not tear up very often on podcasts. And actually, I think is our stream playing maybe on your side, David? If it is, let's turn that off. The Facebook stream or whatever. One of the other times I remember crying on camera was when David came on the TDO live meeting in the wake of COVID in April, after everything had shut down, and he was talking, just wisdom about his family and about life. And I remember crying. And again, something I try not to do. I'm very logical, coldly logical, in fact, and not a very emotional person. So it's rare, but it was beautiful words. And thank you, Chris. I'm actually going to leave you on if that's okay. And sure. I may kind of solo in on David a little bit, but I asked David to kind of come on and what do you say when you receive an award? And look, I know this is not the most, important award you'll ever receive, but from my perspective, it is an opportunity, as Chris said, for someone from a younger generation to honor someone who literally from the day I got into orthodontics, I was aware of and learned from and was influenced by. I've been fortunate to become a friend and to know him on a personal level, which is a true privilege. I've gotten to visit his home and so on, but we just appreciate the hell out of you, man. And thanks for coming on and doing this thing. And he just had foot surgery and intubation and stuff. So anyway, he doesn't have to be here, of course, but what do you have in terms of wisdom for we, the orthodontic profession?
Well, I think to start off is that, Chris, you made me emotional bringing up our conversation relative to my wife, because that was, a really important time in my life. I wish I had time to play the video that my grandchildren sent, where they were saying, get better soon, Mimi, and then the youngest one fell off the table. banged his chin on the way down. And so, humor does, as many of you heard me lecture, I weave humor into a lot of what I say because, as Peter Sinclair and I were talking one time, it has a way of making the medicine go down easy. So that if you're presenting a whole bunch of stuff that's serious, and it should be presented seriously, it doesn't have to be everything. So I would like to start this to, I just picked up a nice moniker for you, Chris, which is Ortho Dad. Chris and I probably talk about once a week, and the topics range from anything to nothing. I'd also want to congratulations to all the winners coming up. I recognize that there's a lot of work that goes into our profession, as you know, having put on courses. And Kyle has. You went to my course. I think your first year out of Tennessee, or pretty darn close. Yep. And the value of teaching to me. And I'm off script now. This is me.
It's great.
Chris took half of what I was going to say, so I'm not talking to you anymore. The value of teaching, I think, is what I'm watching tonight is a guy fresh out of school who, was at a course, and that's what I like about, I always limited my courses to 30 people because I wanted to be able to see, I wanted to be able to communicate, I wanted to be able to reach into their chest, reach into their brain, because, as you know, orthodontics to me is a very emotional profession. If you fail or if something isn't going well, you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning worried about it. I do. And I think most of us do. But boy, I'll tell you what, when they turn out well, my staff can't take enough pictures. They know when so-and-so's coming in, they'll go, we'll go ahead and be getting the pictures, because I know you want them. They know how to shoot glamour shots and that sort of thing. One thing I'm glad I didn't win tonight was the, God bless Paul, the postmortem award. Hope that.
Yes, this is the Living Legend Award.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, see, this is the second one. And so I hope this is not the curse of the Living Legend Award.
No.
Yeah.
Don't put that curse on me, please.
No. And I was so glad to see Jonathan drinking Silver Oak because, as Chris will tell you, my wife won't let me have anything like Silver Oak. If it didn't come from Costco, we don't get it. So I would say that goes to, I've got a bullet point thing of things that I wanted to just say that, number one, surround yourself with smart people. And of course, I started with my parents who were very, well-known, smart people, followed by Bill Prophet and other role models that'd be too numerous for me to mention. But putting in caps here for me, look at every decision you make as a life decision. And, for me, that starts, I've been blessed to marry well right off the bat. We rarely disagree because, as my father told me, the success to a good marriage is shut up and do as you're told. What most people don't know is that I really meant to be a full-time academic, but that path was denied to me. I can't seem to hold a job, but I pressed on. And so my career developed really uniquely in that I wanted to be not just one chapter in my life. I wanted to have several chapters and contributions in terms of intellect, in terms of generosity and community and profession and so forth. Chris mentioned my staff, who are dear to me, and I'm going to make sure that they receive the accolades that they deserve because patients, for example, Tricia, who's been with me 41 years, just retired, but she's my surgical coordinator, and patients will stop by at Christmas to say hi to her. They don't say bye hi to me. They want to speak to her, but they've all got relationships. So we all see in our practices, but it leads to a statement that I one time was talking to Dovey Perro. He said, I remember the first time I heard you lecture. I said, what did I say that you stuck with you? He said, you talked about hiring staff. And I said, yeah. And he said, you said, quote, hire hearts, not hands. And that's really what I believe, is that when we interview people, we're not looking at, dexterity tests and those sort of things. We're trying to look inside them and see if they're going to fit with us and they're going to fit with the patients that we see. I know we've talked about consultants. I chose early in my career to choose one, and she's retired now, but it's Charlene White. And Charlene was young, just getting started. That's the reason I chose her, is I wanted someone who would stay with me through my career, because I knew that because I was choosing a split of academia and practice, that I was going to have a different practice. You couldn't design it to be like everyone else's. Every year she came and she measured all the metrics. We went through it, all that. But every fourth year, as Chris mentioned, she evaluated me, which I think has two things to it. One is she'll tell you stuff you don't want to hear, but you got to hear. And then number two, it gave the staff the reassurance that, it's not a double standard, that it's our practice, that we're all into this and doing the best job we can. I'm probably best known for a lot of things, I suppose. There's some worth than others, for the soft tissue paradigm. And Chris mentioned, that I do maintain long-term records on patients, because I know that the consultants say, you really shouldn't take, see them when you finish and then get rid of them because it's taking up chair time. I look at it differently. I look at those long-term records as the way you learn. You learn about the quality of what you're doing. And then when you go to meetings, you look at what's being shown and you can compare, am I doing better than that doctor is? I think that if we ignore the potential long-term knowledge that you learn, you also establish relationships. So now I'm on my third generation of patients. I've been in practice 45 years. And so I've had a self-administered practice and self-administered continuing education and a lot of ability to be exposed to people who inspired creativity. I'm going to end with the beautiful thing about our profession, to me, is that I am 73 years old. A scant 4 years ago, I published 2 articles in the Journal of Aesthetic Restorative Dentistry, not ortho literature, but in dental literature, one of which, Smile Projection, was the 3rd most downloaded in dental literature that year in the Journal of Aesthetic and Restorative Dentistry. The fact that far into your career, I wasn't stale. I always had things to think about and problems to fix and how to conquer and get the perfect outcome every time. We all know that I'll never get there. Maybe you will. I hope you don't. But I would say thank you very much. I'll leave you with one last thing that I got scolded for. And Chris, I don't remember if it was you, is fundamentally, and this is probably coming from my wife, it's when I have young orthodontists say, what's the number one thing you would tell me? I say, don't spend more than you make. And so I would leave you with that. And that was the thing that I think, Chris, if it was you, I'll give you credit for it. You said, God, I mean, you sound like our parents. And I said, I am your parents. And so anyway, thank you so much for this award, Chris. It's been a pleasure. And I'm not finished yet, by the way. Famously said by Jim McNamara when he got the Ketchum Award, is that retirement is not something that I look forward to. I've been locked up in my house for 2 weeks right now with this surgery on my foot. And so my Tricia, employee of 41 years, while we were talking, texted me and said, how is the caged lion doing? And so it just tells me that I belong here, but I also belong in other places. So thank you again for this tremendous honor, and I do very much appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'm going to do the little applause sound, because if this were the real world, you will be at this year's AAO in Philadelphia. I don't know if you will be or not. This is the Golden Molar and it costs several $1,000s to make this three-dimensional tooth with a bracket on it, and it's placed very well, actually. So we only have one, but we will be having awards printed for both last year's winners and this year's winners. You'll be able to pick one up at the AAO. If you're not there, I'll mail it to you. It's
All right. Well, if I'm going to be there, and if you hand it to me, my right shoulder is also damaged, so make sure I grab it with my left hand.
I'll just say Larry Andrews at 93, 94, he picked that thing up and he held it, and I thought for sure he was going to drop it. He did not. And then he jumped off the stage. It was really spectacular. So you've got to at least do better than that. So that's all. But
I'll give it my best shot.
Gentlemen, I appreciate you so much. Have a great night. We're going to move into the next part of things. Thank you, Chris. We're getting to the very end of all this. That was very touching and amazing, and hard to believe that in the midst of all these jokes, we have something like that. But hey, congratulations truly to Dr. David Sarver on receiving the second annual Living Legend Award. His contributions to orthodontics and beyond have truly set the bar high, and the recognition is well deserved. So, as we celebrate legends, it's time to bring back our top 10 countdown and finish it up. And then we'll bring on three massively legendary orthodontists. And let's see, this is the moment that you've been waiting for, though, is to finish this top 10. So let's find out who's taking the top spot. So number 2, and things that happened in orthodontics this year, Dr. Neil Kravitz returned to Facebook. A little known fact about this is that Mark Zuckerberg's dad, Edward J. Zuckerberg, who I've met, a general dentist, called Neil to help make that happen and to convince him to come back. That's actually not true. But I did call Neil, and he has officially promised that he will stay on social media this time, at least until electric scooters are eradicated from the face of the earth. And that was a quote, a direct quote. And speaking of things that Neil promised us would disappear, Jonathan, would you do the honors? Number 1.
Absolutely, Kyle. Absolutely. In 2024, the number one biggest thing that happened this year is SDC, Smile Direct Club, closed its doors for good. They say, of course, all good things must come to an end. But in this case, Kyle, so do bad ones. And so to SDC and everybody out there that helped SDC along the way, go DIY yourself.
All right. I think that Silver Oak is hitting.
Absolutely. And I have to go to the bathroom. Is it okay if I go to the bathroom really quickly?
Sure, why not? I'll do your part of this.
No,
show did go.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll go.
You should be ready. Jonathan, you should be ready for that third Silver Oak.
Oh my gosh!
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
So as we approach the grand finale of tonight's awards, we're honored to have 3 remarkable professionals to present the final, and might I say, big awards of the evening. First, we have number 1 Eagles fan, Dr. Anil Indicula, a dynamic speaker, a lecturer in orthodontics who runs iOrtho and is known for his passion for elevating the profession. Anil is also a nominee tonight for Best Orthodontic Speaker.
Already lost.
Yeah, wonderful. Joining. Well, okay. The award's going to go the way that Anil.
Spoiler alert! Already lost.
Yeah, Hey, Anil, could you make your mic any louder, please? That would be great. Okay. Joining him is Dr. Enrique Cruz, perhaps the world's only thrice specialized orthodontist. I actually asked ChatGPT, I was like, how would you say that? And it gave me no answer. So I went with thrice specialized orthodontist. He is literally specialized in orthodontics, periodontics, and oral surgery. Fun fact. Known as @OrthoTricks on TikTok, Enrique has built a following of over 1 million using his platform to educate and inspire. And he's also a nominee tonight who lost. I'm sorry, Enrique.
I also lost.
But you did great, and I only said that you lost because Anil brought it up. All right, and finally, Dr. John Callahan, who has been regretting this for the last hour and a half easily. He is the current president of the American Association of Orthodontists, whose leadership truly, sincerely, continues to shape and strengthen our profession. I know we really appreciate John for the emails that came out the last few months. And when I asked him to do this, he wanted to do it, but he said it had to be fun. So hopefully it's been some fun for you.
I was glad that I made number 9.
Oh, you did make number 9. Yeah, you weren't supposed to mention that. We passed that joke through legal and we edited it the very end.
If anyone's didn't hear it from me, it came right from Enrique.
Yeah, Jonathan wrote that joke. So, all right, before we proceed with the final awards of the night, the big awards of the night, Enrique texted me earlier as I was busy writing the scripts, but he had a good idea. He had a video he asked me to play. It's a promotional video for the AAO that's happening in Philadelphia in April. The video is awesome. And so if it had been a bad video, I wouldn't have shown it, but I watched it. I was like, okay, it's really good. So I'm going to watch the video. It is Dr. John Callahan talking. You might recognize some other people in it. But here we go.
So people ask me, what can I expect from annual session in Philadelphia next April? Well, my answer is biggest party ever. I'm John Callahan, president of the American Association of Orthodontics. And trust me, Philly delivers. Just so you know, we are amping up everything next year at annual session. It will be the biggest one yet. Join me and my friends, Drs. Dan Bills, Anila Dicula, and Nellie Kim Waroha, as we explore this electrifying city. Dive into Philly's world-famous food scene, from historic markets, fine dining. There's something for everyone. It's a Philly thing. So catch a concert, cheer on a team, or immerse yourself in world-class art and history. You'll come for the conference, but your stay will be an unforgettable experience. In 2025, the AAO celebrates its 125th anniversary. So get ready for an unforgettable experience in a historic city, where you will connect with colleagues from all over the world. So we'll see you in Philly.
Yeah, that was like truly awesome. Really good.
Biggest party ever.
Anil, your acting was just top notch.
Unbelievable. Yeah. I lost best actor, best supporting actor also that year.
That was earlier. Yeah.
Neil Kravitz won again.
Yeah. But Neil had such a great performance this year in whatever the film was. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get into the awards. We're already like, I don't even know, 40 minutes.
You guys are going to stay on screen for this, right? Or is it?
We can. We've not normally done it that way, but if you want us here, I'll stay here. Jonathan, are you okay with that, or you need to run to the restroom?
Yeah, I'll just tie it in a knot because I got to go to the bathroom, but that's okay.
All right, I'm going to remove Jonathan so he can go to the bathroom. There he goes. All right, go ahead. Do your thing.
Oh, man. I mean, that was a fun video shooting in Philly. It was nice. John Callahan representing Rocky Balboa, Dan Bills representing Ivan Drago, and me representing Apollo Creed at the end. Love it. Good times. But, ending the night, drinking our Monday wine, enjoying it. And we're going to talk about bonding agents. And we're going to talk about...
Hold on a second. Before you do that, is that a Game of Thrones chalice? Is that what it is?
It's a chalice. Yeah, it's a chalice.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
House Stark. Wonderful.
It's what nominees get. We don't get the big tooth, but we got a chalice, which is pretty sweet. It's not dishwasher safe, though. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
So,
hand wash.
Yeah. But the only thing more expensive than what's in here is the bonding agent that we use every single day. And it's so important. And when things go wrong, things go wrong. So it is time to give the award for the best bonding and adhesive product. And the nominees are 3M Oral Care, American Orthodontics, GC Fuji, Ormco, Reliance, Armo, and TP Orthodontics. And the winner is Reliance. Shout out to the Ganji family again. Johnny, I'm going to hand off to you, buddy.
Thank you, Anil. I got to tell you, you can do this all night, can't you? I mean, I think you should definitely be the man who's going to be at the front of the table when we do the late show at the AAO.
He should be hosting this. Is the AAO stealing more ideas from me now? Is that what I'm hearing? So
if we need to, but the answer is absolutely. You have great ideas. I love it.
It was in bad taste.
Awesome.
Yep. Well, we should make a pitch for the AAO award show that we're going to do and the AAO Digital Orthodontist Live podcast. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All right. Sorry.
So
Go
you
ahead,
can
John.
let Kyle go to bed. Let's get through this. All right. So I get to chat a little bit about innovation. And the reality is innovation has always been a driving force in orthodontics. And as president of the AAL, it has really been incredible to see just how far our profession continues to push its boundaries. Custom braces are one of the most exciting advancements we've seen right now which combines precision, efficiency, and personalization to elevate patient care. You know, that's what happens when you've been on for an hour and a half. You start to dribble a little bit some of the words as it comes out.
Doing great.
But the companies nominated in this category represent the cutting edge of orthodontics, and it's their creativity and dedication to keep our field moving forward. And the nominations for Best Custom Braces System are Brius, Braces on Demand, Dibs AI, InBrace, KL Owen, Lightforce Orthodontics, Ormco Digital Bonding, and Sure Smile. And the winner is Lightforce Orthodontics.
Jonathan's back from the bathroom, so I'm going to add him back in. So,
all right.
Thank you.
All right. It's a good time to talk about clear aligner therapy. And as we all know, clear aligner therapy, hey, it's late already. It's a late. Words don't come out.
We're gonna need it. We need a translator.
just do it in Spanish. Do it in Espanol. We'll take it.
Clear aligner therapy. There you go. You know, as we all know, it's amazing to see how many great options available we have today. It's like walking into an ice cream shop where everything is your favorite flavor and you can't go wrong, right? And no matter what type of system you use, the truth is that we're all benefiting from this incredible innovation happening in this space. These companies are raising the bar for what's possible in orthodontics. It's just amazing what they have done in these past years. And tonight, we celebrate their contributions. And the nominees for the best clear aligner therapy aligner system are 3M Clarity Aligners, Angel Aligner, Arch Form, Clear Correct, Invisalign, Reveal Clear Aligners, Spark Clear Aligners, Sure Smile Clear Aligners, and You Laugh Clear Aligners. And the winner is Invisalign.
All right. Very nicely done. Anil, you still show up on my phone when I look at you as an Invisalign like speaker or something. It's funny.
Yeah,
you had that like in your profile.
Didn't win that award either, but yeah.
Well,
nominee, speaker nominee.
As always, next year. All right, final award of the night. It's exciting.
Final award. Okay, final award, and then everyone can go to bed. It is the Best BBC Award, which stands for the Best Big Bracket Company Award. These bracket companies are the backbone of our profession. Been around for years, and this is what we've built our practices upon, creating incredible smiles day and night. Now, I've gotten to speak for some of these companies nominated tonight, and they've always done all they could for orthodontics and all of our peers. I've also heard stories of these glory days where they throw these gigantic parties, and they had, as David Sarver would call himself, a caged lion. They had caged lions at these parties.
Right.
So we're going to bring back David Sarver in a cage next year in Philly, I think. Don't quote me on that, but it probably will happen. But either way, regardless of the parties, let's check out the nominees for the best big bracket company. Allure Ortho, American Orthodontics, Dynaflex, GC Orthodontics, Henry Schein Orthodontics, Ormco, RMO, Solventum, formerly 3M Oral Care, TP Orthodontics, and White Oak Orthodontics. And the winner is American Orthodontics. Congratulations. Back to you, Kyle and John.
Yeah, well, don't go away so fast. Yeah, it's great. I cannot believe just the script was written hours ago, And I wrote the joke about the caged lions, because I always hear that there was a meeting. I won't name them, won't call them out, but in the 80s, they had a party at the AO with caged lions. John, were you there?
I was only 12.
You can neither confirm nor deny. That's fine. And I just feel like I really missed out on something special. And there goes David talking about being a caged lion. It was just perfect. It was poetic in a sense. So let's get this thing up. Seriously, guys, thank you very, very much. If you don't know, these three are on the board for the AAO, John being the president, and you guys do a tremendous amount of work for us, and really appreciate all the really sacrifice and service that you put into the service of our profession. I didn't say that very well, but you know what I'm trying to say. So we really do sincerely appreciate all that. So thank you. Have a good night. Jonathan and I are going to wrap up. And maybe there's 6 or 7 people still watching. Jonathan is back from the restroom. And that's a wrap, Jonathan. That's it. Congratulations to all the nominees and winners. You've proven that even in a year full of challenges, orthodontists are the backbone of smiles, figuratively speaking, of course. A big shout out to our amazing sponsors, Neon Canvas, Allure Ortho, and Mary's List, for their unwavering support of this broadcast, but also many other things. And of course, my deepest gratitude to the team at Neon Canvas, specifically Kayla, Alan, Scott, Trenton, Kira, and Anna, who did this backdrop and my eyebrows. You're the dream team, and I could not have done this without you. And Jonathan.
Of course, Kyle, let's not forget that, this is the only award show where everyone in the audience, Kyle, has the same perfect smile, unless, of course, they're not wearing their aligners, right?
Right, which sounds a lot like my patients. So seriously, thank you all for tuning in. Tonight has been an excellent reminder of the fact that orthodontics is truly the greatest profession in the world. I'm very grateful to be a part of it and to know each of you who are watching this, whether live or later. Jonathan and I, thank you so much for that. We had a blast. Thanks to everyone who showed up. And we'll see you next year. Good night, everybody.
Absolutely. All the
and
best.
Happy New Year. It's
Happy
almost
New
New Year. Can you believe it? All right.
No.
Yeah. Can't believe it.